for God and country and go back to work. That's a good one right there. I'm going to kick your. But CH, he's the biggest fraudster of the century. This shocking accusations and shockwaves through the courtroom as a witness bluntly called out Rick Harrison during a recent trial. Fans of the famous reality TV show Pawn Stars Around the World were stunned when they learned that Rick Harrison, the man with sharp business acumen and vast knowledge of countless antique items, had been sentenced to life in prison. What happened to the man who seemed to have the upper hand in every deal is? Join us in this video to explore the full journey of a Pawn Star star from fame to legal turmoil, Rick Harrison journey to becoming the Pawn Stars kingpin, Richard Kevin Harrison, better known as Rick Harrison from the hit. Reality TV show Pawn Stars became famous not just on screen, but also for his colorful real-life stories that captivated the media. The Harrison family's gold and silver pawn shop, located at 7113 South Las Vegas Boulevard, became the central backdrop. 4 Pawn Stars since July 2009, who would have guessed that a regular pawn shop could turn into one of the most watched programs on the History Channel, revealing the fascinating and sometimes bizarre world of pawnbroking, Richard Kevin Harrison born. On March 22, 1965, in Lexington, North Carolina, a successful businessman and a familiar face on American television. When he was just 2 years old, his family moved to San Diego, California, where he spent most of his childhood. Few know that young Rick had to deal with epilepsy from the age of 8, a condition that led him to spend much of his time reading this. In turn, helped him build an impressive wealth of historical knowledge, an essential factor in his later career. But could the struggles of his past have any connection to his current legal troubles? Rick's childhood wasn't exactly peaceful. His epilepsy often forced him to miss school, and he eventually dropped out in his sophomore year of high school. However, the interruption to his formal education did not quench his thirst for knowledge and ambition for success. Instead, Rick self-educated by devouring books on a wide range of subjects, particularly history and business. This self-taught method gave him an extensive knowledge base, something that viewers clearly saw in his impressive appearances on Pawn Stars. So, what could have driven such a curious and self-reliant man like Rick to get tangled in legal issues in his teenage years? Rick began working with his father. On various business ventures, it was here that he developed a keen eye, an ability to assess the value and authenticity of items, a priceless skill for his future career. At the age of 17, Rick's girlfriend became pregnant, and they got married. The young couple had 2 sons, Corey and Adam, before divorcing. After 8 years of marriage in 1981, Rick's family moved to Las Vegas, Nevada, where his father, Richard Benjamin Harris, opened a coin and gold shop. Did the ups and downs of his personal life influence Rick's decisions and actions? Later on, what started as a small coin shop soon evolved into the world-renowned gold and silver pawn shop by 1989, which later became the main setting for Pawn Stars. The shift from a coin shop to a pawn shop was a strategic decision, as the Harrison family saw a higher profit potential in this new venture. The early years were filled with challenges as Rick and his father worked tirelessly to establish their reputation in Las Vegas. Rick often faced difficult customers and occasionally dangerous situations, but could these hardships in building their career have led to some of the poor choices made later? By the early 2000s, Rick had become a well-known figure in Las Vegas, thanks to his expertise in various types of collectibles and historical items. His pawn shop earned a reputation as a place where one could find unique and valuable items, attracting both locals and tourists, realizing the entertainment potential of his business. Rick, but what happened next? What could have caused such a successful and influential man like Rick Harrison to face a life sentence? Let's stay tuned for more updates to uncover this mystery. But did Rick stop at just running a successful pawn shop? No, in the mind of this ambitious man. Stories behind every item after many years of knocking on TV station doors. In fact,